third Saturday in October rivalry that ends with the smoke 'em, if you got 'em, but being those cigars. Bama, Tennessee, taking place tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Tennessee. CBS will have the call on the game, but you're rocking and rolling right now with the hottest show in these streets. Pumping you that Crimson Tide football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Proud to have each and every one of you checking us out here on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. As always, we're bringing you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We're streaming this to you on YouTube. Speaking of a channel, you guys know what time it is. Hit that subscribe button. Smash subscribe right now. Join in with your Alabama football family. Get every family member, every friend, diehard Bama fan, casual Bama fan, consumer of Crimson Tide football to subscribe. Because if you love the content, guess what? They will also. Don't forget to like the show. We love the likes. Hit the like button, smash the thumbs up, run those likes up. Let's get this show right now to 50 likes on the channel, making this your show, your network, platform, channel, and space to talk Bama. Turn all of those notifications on, hit that little bell so that way you miss absolutely nothing when it comes down to your Bama coverage. We got you covered also on Facebook and Twitter as well, streaming to you the show. But a little bit later on, we'll be joined by Bo Scarbrough, former Alabama running back, two-time national champion and USFL champion for the Birmingham Stallions. And he's going to be talking about this matchup between Alabama and Tennessee. He is pumped up for it, and we're pumped up to get your thoughts tonight on the show as the Bama Nation. And we want you letting your voice be made known. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358, the number to call in to let your voice be heard on the show, 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you of a daily super chat goal, $75 daily super chat goal. Appreciate the support there coming from you guys. But we jump in now. First topic on the docket here, and this is Eli. There is a lot of growing optimism around the Alabama program. Bryce Young starts, plays this weekend against Tennessee. A lot of growing optimism. I know against Arkansas, second quarter, suffered the sprained AC joint to his throwing shoulder, his right shoulder. Jalen Milroe had to come in the second quarter, finish that game out against Arkansas. Bryce Young did not play against Texas A&M. Jalen Milroe started the entire game, but throughout this week in practice, Young has done more and more. Coach Saban, using the baseball term, putting him on a pitch count, trying to lean him in the practices more, but according to just several people that I've spoken with, invested inside the program, it's Bryce Young's good to go. He looks good. He looks smooth. He's ready. No issue. Full range of motion with the arm and with the shoulder. No type of pain happening at this point. I know Saban mentioned that the whole pain tolerance thing, how much will he be able to do out there, but Bryce Young's good to go. He is set to go. He is ready to go. According to the people that I've been able to speak with, has had very strong days here of practice for the Crimson Tide. Now, Coach Saban also mentioned that, the team is locked in for this game against Tennessee. The team understands the game plan, understands what it's going to have to do this week in this matchup on Saturday. The energy's been there all week. The enthusiasm's been there all week. The focus has been there all week. They know what to do. They're ready to execute the game plan against Tennessee. But it's just really good to hear from people that I've spoken with that Bryce Young, shoulder's good, shoulder's fine, good to go. Full range of motion in the shoulder, no pain, no tension, no issues right there. And to me, Bryce Young is ready to shut up some doubters here. I mean, all week long, what's the national media been saying? Tennessee way too explosive. Tennessee big-time offense. Tennessee averaging near 50 points per game. Hendon Hooker, the favorite here in the Heisman conversation. Even with Bryce Young, this is still not a vintage Alabama team. Even with Bryce Young, this is not a vintage Nick Saban team. Tennessee by 100,000. Tennessee is going to win the football. I mean, so many people, national media, putting everything on the Vols here in this contest. So Bryce Young looking to shut some haters up, looking to silence some doubters, looking to quiet some naysayers here in this football game in Rocky Top, Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Our own Eli Walker and Justin Smith will both be at that game, covering that game, so follow those two guys on Twitter as they will be providing the ins and outs there from the matchup. But that's what I've been getting here on Bryce Young. Good to go. Coach Saban still playing those Jedi mind tricks with Tennessee, trying to have them prepare for both. Nick Saban trying to have them prepare for both Bryce Young and Jalen Milroe. But according to the people I've spoken with, Young shoulders good, intact, ready to go there. But we take our first break here on the show and touch that dial. Just getting started. Upon our return on a Friday, we go to you. We want your phone calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Also, we want your score predictions. Drop those in the chat. We also want an offensive and defensive player of the game. Drop that in the chat as well. We're coming back to get your phone calls after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
9 players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
All right, baby, we're back into the action from the break. TGIF edition of the show. Hottest show in the streets here. Talking Bama football news in my own words on a Friday, the eve of the third Saturday in October rivalry between Bama and Tennessee. Bama has won 15 straight times since 2007. Coach Saban becoming the head man for the Crimson Tide. Tennessee trying to break the streak. We will see how it goes down. But we go to the phone lines right now to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, that's all I've heard this week. Alabama ain't going to show up. They ain't going to do this. They ain't going to do that. They can't do this. They can't do that. What's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong with these folks?
Weighing. It's just national media doing what national media does. I mean, you're hyping up the opponents. It's what national media does. I mean, I was wondering, would Nick Saban at Alabama hop on the plane to Knoxville? But, Coach Saban and the Tide, they hopped on the plane. They are now in Knoxville ready for this matchup. But it's just the national people do what the national people do, and that's trying to hype up the opponent that Alabama's playing against.
Well, Coach Bryant was 16-7-2 against Tennessee, and everybody wants to. I don't think I've got to ask everybody what Coach Saban's record is against Tennessee. He's got a little better record than Coach Bryant did, but I respected them all week. They've been calling in here on the show, crowing like an old rooster sitting up on the pole, about 3:30 in the morning, when he's getting he's getting his wings on. But anyway, I don't know scores. Let's see, 42-28. Bryce most on offense, maybe Dallas or Will on defense. We could have a receiver on offense make a showing tomorrow. I don't know. We'll wind up and see. But anyway, y'all looking good. The Blue Ridge gang. I just thought I'd call it tonight. Y'all get ready. Win, lose, or draw. We still gonna root for Alabama. I don't know any other team I'd ever root for besides Alabama. But I just like Tennessee worse than I do Auburn. That's bad. I love all y'all. Y'all looking good. Have a safe weekend. Everybody enjoy the game tomorrow. Keep your blood pressure down. Stephen, you watch that game. Eat some Reels for me. I won't be sitting back here with my feet propped up, drinking a cold one, watching this football game. I love all of you. I'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate Waylon, the president, getting us started here on a Friday. His score prediction, 42-28 Bama. Put that down, Eli. He's got Bryce as the offensive MVP and either Will Anderson or Dallas Turner as the defensive player of the game. We grab this call. Here you're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steve, this is Rob from Chicago. Can you hear me?
Doing great, Rob, and yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I'm stuck out here on traffic, but let me give you kind of, as usual, my stream of consciousness. Let me start off at the top. I got Bama 38-35. And
barn burner, close one.
Yeah, a couple keys here. First of all, offensively, I think they need to get off to a fast start. And I looked at the game last year, and John Mechie was critical in terms of those third down passes. And I think Bryce is going to need to have a clutch receiver on maybe 5 or 6 passes coming down the stretch. And to that end, I think Burton's going to have to step up, and he's my MVP if they're going to win. I think Burton has to be that guy. I think he's the most consistent John Mechie type route runner, and I think you're going to need that. Also, I think time of possession with the ground game is important. And while I have a lot of respect for Gibbs to get some big yardage, again, I'm going back to last year. B-Rob has some critical third down runs, and I think Roydell is going to have to be part of the equation. When you have them 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 2s, you got to get those first downs. And so the offensive line is going to have to step up, but I think the time of possession is going to be really important. I think this on defense. I think within the first 5 to 10 plays of the game, the Tennessee quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard, because that's going to need to set the tone for him that, hey, this is a different game. And to that end, I agree with the prior caller. I think Dallas Turner probably, if they're going to win, will be the defensive MVP. I also say this, Terrion Arnold's going to have his biggest game of the year, because they absolutely lit up Josh Jobe last year on that left side. So he's going to have a lot of heat coming toward him. And DeMarco Hellams, while he can't cheat because they have a lot of good receivers, that left side of that field is going to really, really be critical when they get into those bunch plays. And here's a wild card we haven't talked about, and I think perhaps maybe the defining element for Alabama. That's their special team. I think their special team needs to score a touchdown in some form or fashion, whether or not it's a block punt, return. Doesn't have to be a touchdown, but they need to have a decisive advantage on the special teams, because I think they have perhaps their largest advantage on that aspect of the game that hasn't been talked about. So those are kind of my keys and the things I'm going to be looking for. The one question I have for you, Steve, is, I listened to Nick Saban's comments this week. He kept talking about evaluating things, and I almost got the sense that he's evaluating certain players, certain schemes. I mean, I've never heard him use that terminology in the middle of a season. So I'm wondering, am I reaching for something, or do you sense, since you're close to him and around all the meetings, do you think he's really stepping back and, evaluating personnel, and perhaps we could see maybe some minor changes in some of the key spots? Curious as your thoughts on that, or anything else I've said. Thanks.
Appreciate Robert from Chicago calling in there. Saban does make evaluations on a lot of things. It's not just players, it's coaches too. He's evaluating, are we coaching these guys right? offensively, is Bill O'Brien putting us in the best ways to be successful? Is Pete Golden doing that? Position coaches, is Freddie Roach doing his job? Robert Gillespie doing his job? Joe Cox doing his job? Charles Kelly doing his job? So he's evaluating coaches and players alike, Robert, but I also look at the keys that he mentioned there. Time of possession is going to be a big deal. I like the special teams one there. I think the kicking game could play a role in here, but I think kickoff return and punt return. Will this be the week where Kool-Aid McKinstry brings a punt return back? You definitely want to keep your eyes on that also, and truly the run game to that time of possession. But we grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
This is Justin from Anniston, Alabama.
Justin, what's going on, man?
Hey, Steven, what's going on with you, man? Doing great on this Friday evening, and I just wanted to talk about what we're seeing in the national media right now, and I think it could be summed up very simply as a massive overreaction, and it's apparently an overreaction from people who have never watched Alabama football for any amount of time, because let me tell you something. I've been watching Alabama football for 20-plus years, and I've watched it every year that Nick Saban's been there. And let me tell you something. As long as Nick Saban's at Alabama, we're at the top of the college football world. And Saban himself has said this. He stated that we are going to get every team's best shot. We're going to get every team's best game. So last week, what you saw was Texas A&M giving us their best shot. They played us very close. Now, of course, Alabama made a lot of mistakes, obviously. We had turnovers. And without those turnovers, the game probably looks very different. But Texas A&M played a great game. They fought us right into the end. So we have this close football game, and all of a sudden, Alabama somehow is not a good football team. All of a sudden, the dynasty's over. Alabama's going to struggle. Oh, no, can they beat Tennessee? Are you out of your freaking mind? Did I sleep through some kind of bizarre, transition of reality or something? I mean, we got a Heisman quarterback who's probably going to play this week, by all indications, according to what you said. And of course, we know that, that the injury was not as severe as previously thought. So by all indications, he's going to play. And Tennessee, for God's sake, who have they played this year? I mean, answer me that. Who has Tennessee played this year? LSU? LSU is about as soft as I've ever seen them. They struggled to beat Auburn. Auburn was up 17-0 on them. They beat Florida. Okay, big whoop. Florida doesn't look great either. They haven't played anybody. They've not impressed me. Are they going to give us their best shot like every team does? Absolutely they will. But as long as Bryce Young starts this game, I don't think this game's going to be particularly close, Steven. I'm going to say 41-20, Alabama beats Tennessee.
41-20, Bama over the Vols, coming from Justin out of Anniston. Appreciate him for that call right there. Lighting us up, coming in hot here on a Friday. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hello, Stephen. This is Timothy Cook calling out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
What's going on, Tim?
Hey, buddy. I predict the score to be 41-10. Alabama 41, Tennessee 10.
All right, so Tim's got 41-10, Eli, in favor of Bama. Go ahead, Tim.
Because we are the standard of college football. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Appreciate my man Tim out of Baton Rouge there with that call. He's got 41-10 in favor of Alabama. And the reason Crimson Tide remaining as the standard of college football. Will Anderson said that on the Paul Feinbaum show this week. If you did not get a chance to catch that, we grabbed this call. Here you're live on the show. What's happening? State your name and where you calling from.
Mr. William Newman from Danders, Tennessee. How you doing, Stephen?
Doing great, William, and yourself?
Doing good, but hold on. I got a special guest for us.
Okay.
Bo Scarbrough.
Oh, we got the kids in here. Let's do this.
Yeah. I told him. I said, you're gonna be a special guest on the talk show tonight. So he got all excited. Hey, look. According to the media and everybody, why are we coming up here to Knoxville to play?
I mean, William, I'm trying to understand that myself. I was thinking that Saban was not going to hop the plane. But, lo and behold, Saban and everybody hopped the plane. They're in Knoxville. Saban talked about it on Thursday. The game plan is legit. The guys are locked in, focused. The energy all week's been awesome. The enthusiasm's been right there. They're ready for a football game.
Well, you know what? And everybody's like, oh, man, everybody keeps talking about on paper. I said, look, yeah, you look on paper, whatever, I don't care. I said, but that's why they play the game. It's called Any Given Saturday. But this Saturday ain't going to be Tennessee's Saturday, all right?
Appreciate William there calling into the show on a Friday, giving us his thoughts here on the Bama-Tennessee game tomorrow, 2:30 Central Time kickoff from Knoxville. We'll take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How are we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Stephen, Bill from New York. I'm ready. That's how I'm feeling.
Bill, I know you are. I'm right here in this pink salmon shirt. I'm ready myself.
All right. Well, listen, we were talking about the media before. Let me tell you something. I got Sirius Radio, and these guys, it's their job to pretend that people have a chance to beat Alabama. That's all they think about, really, because they look at the records, they've seen the games, and they see what we do is win with a Crimson Tide. We have the best coach. We have, like everyone said, the standard. You know what I mean? Everyone's playing their best game against us, and we prevail. These guys, and then they run out of things to talk about. They talk about how to send a text message. They talk about, I went to England. I don't want to hear. I'm paying money for this. That's what these fools talk about. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, we're going to win. Now, I'm going to tell you what I was thinking, really, until I heard your show. I was kind of thinking Bryce wasn't going to play. And my thing is, I've been thinking a lot about Milroe. And we know he does two things well. I'm saying if he has to go in there. We know he can run, and we know he could throw the ball 100 miles. So my thing is, I think they should if he's in there, let him throw some bombs. Let him throw some deep stuff, you know what I mean, and back the defenses up. But I'm not worried about it. I'm looking at 41-10, same as the previous caller said. And I think that Will's going to have his day, like 3 or 4 sacks, couple of turnovers. Well, you know what I mean. Hooker, we're going to make him look like a hooker on 42nd Street. I ain't worried about it, Steven. We're going to go get him.
Got Bill from New York calling it. He is pumped up for the game. Appreciate Bill. Bill's got 41-10 in favor of Bama. Will Anderson, 3 to 4 sacks, according to Bill. We grab this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steve. This is William from Virginia. How you doing?
Doing great, William, and yourself?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. Hey, I just want to say I love your show, man. I appreciate everything you do. Roll Tide to everybody out there. And I'm not going to make a score prediction, but my prediction is we're going to hear Rammer Jammer in Tennessee's house, and we're going to play it loud and proud. And no individual MVP. It's going to be a team effort. Like AC said on the show that you were on the Bama Standard, those boys got to go in there, have their mind right, lock the door, and beat those Vols down like they owe back child support and let them go when we're ready. Roll Tide, brother.
There we go. William from Virginia giving his thoughts here on the show. 205-448-1358. But I'm going to call in 205-448-1358. We got some super chats to get to. So how about Jimmy the Bad Man Clay handling the daily super chat goal by himself? That's $75 coming from Jimmy Clay. We appreciate that. And then we got George Stokes with that $1.99 in the super chats. Appreciate the love there from Jimmy and George Stokes there. And our call topic, Eli, goes to the Iron Man. No, not Landon Dickerson. Brian Robinson. B-Rob. I mean, think about this, Eli. August 28th, attempted robbery. You get shot twice in the lower body. It could have very easily went left for you. You couldn't have been on this earth He has surgery, recovers, comes back to training camp for the Commanders, works his tail off. Remind you, he got shot. Then he plays against Tennessee. He comes out of the tunnel to the song Mini Man by 50 Cent. I mean, that's just gangsters all get out right there. Then, the next week, the next couple days later, he starts Thursday Night Football against the Bears, and B-Rob becomes the reason the Commanders beat the Bears. 60 yards rushing, his first NFL rushing touchdown. Washington wins 12-7. I mean, what a comeback story for B-Rob. From shot multiple times to scoring your first NFL touchdown and becoming the reason why you beat the Bears. Big ups to Brian Robinson. We're going to go to a break right now, folks. If you're still holding on in the phone lines, hold through the next 10 minutes or call back in the next 10 minutes, because when we come back, we sit down with the former two-time national champion and a USFL champion, Bo Scarbrough, to get his thoughts on Bama, Tennessee. You'll hear Bo after this.
You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your four-finger bling necklace right now at WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're back rocking and rolling in here on a Friday TGIF edition of the show. How to show on the streets, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. The eve of the third Saturday in October rivalry, Bama, Tennessee, on tomorrow. Gotta shout out J.D. Long with that $19.99 in the Super Chats right there. Appreciate JD showing the love right there. But right now, we go to the phone lines. To my own words hotline, we bring in a good friend, brother to the show, two-time national champion, 2015 and 2017, USFL champion, and one of the greatest, baddest men to run the football for your Crimson Tide under one Nick Saban, the Tuscaloosa native, Bo. Don't mess with him. Scarbrough in the house. Bo, what's happening, man?
What's up, Steve, man? You always give a fire intro, man. See, it's a good one every time I come on here.
Hey, man, we got to do you right, Bo. We got to do you right. We got to do you justice. So this week, you got Bama, you got Tennessee. This game means so much to both programs, especially the Bama program. You were a part of this rivalry, Bo, for 3 to 4 years yourself. So just starting this off here, when you look at a game where Alabama's being doubted, so many people in national media putting it all on Tennessee, when you look at this game, what's the intensity level that's in Nick Saban's mind right now when you look at everybody kind of doubting Bama coming into this?
One thing for sure that I know that Coach Saban is telling them that, don't look at the power ranking. That don't mean anything. The power ranking don't mean anything. We got to go out there and do our job and do our job well. We was number one and everybody thought we were done, but Bama not done yet. Then we dropped down to number 3 and everybody's still saying Bama done. But guess what? Bama not done yet, and we would never, ever be done yet, because every year we want to win the national championship, and we have a chance to win the national championship every year. So this is a very important game far as Alabama and Tennessee. But for a fact, I know that Coach Saban is telling them that the power ranking doesn't mean anything. We have to be dialed in and focused, play by play, quarter by quarter, play lights out, balls to the wall. And we're going to have to go by our fourth quarter, discipline, toughness, effort, pride, and that's what we're going to have to do this game.
Absolutely. So, Bo, I know you personally, you have been very adamant about the play calling, whether it's offensively, whether it's defensively. You want to see domination. Fans want to see domination when it comes to the Crimson Tide. So when you look at Bill O'Brien, when you look at Pete Golding, and when you look at just what they're trying to put together for this game, you being a former player and a two-time national champion, when you watch this game Saturday, what do you want to see from the play calling on both ends, offense and defense, for your alma mater this weekend?
I just want to see them put the guys in the best position and let them make the play, let them make plays. And I also would like to see our defense play physical and well, and so is our offense play physical as well. Our defense showed up and played a very great game last week. We had some trouble on the back end, but our front seven dominated. I would say we dominated that game. And I also think that we're going to dominate this game just as much as we dominated last game. But I just want to see the domination on the offensive side, the physicality, the toughness, and the pride that they got to have of going out there and putting their hat on their head and pushing them boys back. Because we're going to rocket top, and it's going to be loud. We're going to probably use the clap formation because we're not going to be able to use cadence. It's going to be rocking in there. So those guys going to have to get their mind right and going to have to be focused on their job and not focus on the outside of what's going on in the crowd and how many people that they see. We're going to need to be dialed in and focused, and this is going to be our real true testimony of what Alabama is made of. So we have to go out there and show them the physicality that we have built into the team over the last past 12 to 13 years.
If you're just checking out the show here on a Friday, we got the man, the legend, two-time national championship running back, Bo Scarbrough, right here on the show. So, Bo, crazy enough, the Tennessee game in 2016, and you talked about it, this was where you earned the trust from Coach Saban and everybody else around you. You came out there and you dominated that game. You guys got the win 49-10, and this is when you had 105 yards rushing, big touchdown there, and it kind of catapulted you throughout the remainder of that 16 season. Just talk about what was the motivating factor for you in that game? What went into that performance for you? And how did that game kind of get you jump-started, just going back to that moment where you earned everybody's trust in that matchup?
Well, first, I would say that you have to have confidence in yourself and trust in yourself before that anyone else can be confident in you and have trust in you. So once you have confidence in yourself and you trust yourself to go out there and get the job done, and players and coaches, they're going to see that you is dialed in, and they're going to see that you believing in yourself and you got the confidence and to go out there and do your job. And once you gain the trust from the players and the coaches, is all going to fall in place. It's all going to fall in line. And you're going to be playing at your best because you're going to be playing with no worries. You're going to be confident in yourself. You know what you're doing. If you mess up, so what? Go on to the next play. And that's what I did. I was playing play by play by play, and I was only worried about my job. And I wasn't worried about anything else that was going on around me. And once I gained that trust, I just took off. I became one of the leaders on the team, and when in doubt, Coach Saban would put the ball in my hand because he knew that I knew what I was doing and that I knew how to run the ball, and he knew that he can trust in me to get the job done whenever my number was called. And that's what happened, that Coach Saban would call on me at these random times to get the job done, and I would come through because I was his trust person that he trusted.
Absolutely. So, Bo, last quick one here on our end. We got Bo Scarbrough here on the show. So, Bo, kind of take me through from a player's perspective when Alabama beats Tennessee, and you're in the locker room, and those cigars come out, and the players, the coaching staff are enjoying that tradition. What is that like? Kind of break that down to me. What is that like? I win this game. I win this rivalry. I'm puffing this cigar. What's that atmosphere like?
Oh, man, it's something special because, we've been popping cigars for the last 12 to 13 years, and, we want to keep that tradition going. And once you win against Tennessee, you're a part of something special because once you're done with Alabama and you get all these different people coming up to you and they say, hey, what's your record against Tennessee? They're not asking you, hey, what's your record against Auburn, one of our biggest rivalries, but they want to know your record against Tennessee. And this is what we all fighting for, that record against Tennessee about after football. Because anytime someone say, hey, Bo, what's your record against Tennessee? I can probably say, hey, man, I'm 3-0 against Tennessee. I got 3 cigars that I have smoked from the Tennessee game that I still keep, and the gloves that I still have from the game. So smoking those cigars in the locker room is something special, especially when Coach Saban come around and have a smoke with you is always something special when the head coach is doing something invariable with his players and that his players love to see him do. So it's, like I said, it's hard to explain. You would have to be there to, actually feel what I'm talking about. But winning against Tennessee and smoking a cigar is something that you can be a part of for the rest of your life.
He is Bo Scarbrough, folks, 2-time national championship running back for your Crimson Tide, also USFL champion for the Birmingham Stallions. Coming on here, giving his thoughts for the Bama-Tennessee game on tomorrow. Bo, as always, man, love you, big guy. Appreciate you. You enjoy the game, and take care of yourself.
Yes, sir. You take care of yourself, too, and roll tide.
Absolutely. Bo Scarbrough joining us right here on the show. Eli, I don't smoke, but Bo got me ready to hit a cigar right now. Bo got me ready to grab one. I just always like to see what the atmosphere is like in that locker room after you beat Tennessee, and just the puff of smoke just going everywhere. But maybe one day they'll allow me to go in that locker room and check out that action right there. But we'll take this break here on the show. When we come back, we get your phone calls, your thoughts, your conversations. Continue dropping those score predictions in the chat. We'll be with you guys after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith. Brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your 4-finger bling necklace. Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to WhitwellSports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full-year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
We're back rocking and rolling in here from the break. Number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got the man Eli Walker in the building as well. The eve of the third Saturday in October rivalry, Bama Tennessee on tomorrow. CBS has the call, 2:30 p.m. Central Time kickoff. We got Aaron McGuire with that $5 donation. The Super Chats appreciate Aaron McGuire. And we got DJ Webb with that $4.99 dropping that in here as well. But right now, we go to the phone lines to grab your calls. The call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. We grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Roll Tide, Stephen. This is your buddy up here in Denison, Iowa. What's going on?
Doing great, William. Can't complain here. It was great getting a chance to talk with the man, Bo Scarbrough, in the recent segment there. And Looks like we're going to have Bryce Young for this game, trending forward that he will play, he will start, and despite all of the chaos being thrown out there by national media, I think Nick Saban has people right where he wants them at.
Yes, sir. We got this game. I ain't no doubt about it, man. I've got that feeling, and I always enjoy hearing Bo Scarbrough. I got a score prediction for you. And
Let's go.
I've been saying 41-10. They may get a touchdown, they may get a field goal, but they get that. They may get it. I'm looking for, maybe 3 if they even get that, but we'll see how it goes anyway. I'm anxious for this, and roll tide, everybody.
Appreciate William from Iowa calling in. Another 41-10 score prediction there, Eli. William in favor of the Tide there. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Robert, Brighton, Alabama.
All right, Robert, what's happening?
Not much. Hey, I need to ask a quick question. Do you think Alabama need to do press coverage on these fast wide receivers?
Alabama doesn't need to do press coverage. I would do some press coverage. I do some man-to-man. I do some press coverage. Saban may also play zone too, but I do some press coverage.
Yeah, I'm thinking because of the speed of Alabama 3 rushers, I think that if they do press coverage, they wouldn't give the quarterback for Tennessee enough time to look downfield.
I mean, you got to you got to come after Hendon Hooker back there. You got to put pressure to him. I also want to see the Bama defensive line, knock the ball down. That was something that this group was really good at previously under Saban. Is if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up in the passing lane and knock the ball down.
Yeah, well, I was just wondering because we need to get a little more pressure up the middle to help out the ends for coming in. But I think that Alabama going to have a pretty good game, and I think that the defense is going to be the true story on Saturday. I don't think they're going Tennessee going to score as much as everybody think they will.
Appreciate my man Robert calling in right there, giving us his thoughts on the show. I think the defense is going to have a lot to say in this game because everybody's kind of undervaluing the Alabama defense. People are pumping up the Tennessee offense. You have some people pumping up the Tennessee defense. I think the Alabama offense is walking in here as the underrated group, and Will Anderson, he likes when people underrate this defense because that allows his defense to show what it really is. But we take this call. Here you're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen Emmons, Robert from Mobile.
Robert, what's happening, man?
41-10. We hold Tennessee to 10 points. I think we probably need to start polishing off the trophy because they're most likely. There's a good chance they may be the best offense we play all season. Maybe Ohio State. I'm not sure, but the game does have a little feel like the Leonard Fournette showdown when we had against a Heisman Trophy candidate, and we had to shut down that Heisman Trophy candidate when we shut down Fournette. Of course, it's a lot easier to shut down a running back than it is a quarterback. It's much easier because, it's a lot easier to shut down the running than it is to pass. But, I think that, like your previous caller said, the defense may want to get on the road and show out this weekend and, to shut up everybody about Tennessee's offense. Now, of course, Tennessee is the greatest threat they've been to Alabama since, 2015 when Jake Coker had to get us that drive down the field in the last few minutes of the game. That's the closest they've come since then. They've only been close twice in Nick Saban's 15 years. So they're really hungry, and the fans are definitely hungry. So and they're ready to smoke those victory cigars. I'm sure they haven't sniffed one in 15 years. But the defense, I think they may want to make a statement in this game and really go after that quarterback. and really show that, hey, you all think they're going to just come in here and hit us for 600 yards and 40 points. We got something to say about that. So, yeah. And now, of course, can our offense score? It's the main thing, keep the ball away from them. And with Bryce playing, of course, we know we can score. And with Milroe, we're not confident in the Bill O'Brien, Jalen Milroe combination. Can Bill O'Brien make a game plan around that could work for Jalen Milroe? So far, he hasn't been able to do that. So that's where we get a little worried. But because of his Bryce, it's off to the races. Bryce will make these receivers look a lot better than they are. Milroe, if he can get more confidence and calm down, maybe he can do it as well. One of the things he has to do is avoid that tendency to run to the right. Guy, if we see that tendency, everybody else is going to see it too. A lot of plays he could have made to his left had he drifted to his left, but the instinct is he's a right-handed quarterback and he wants to try to run to the right to make plays. Similar way Jalen Hurts was doing things when he was here. But Jalen found a way to get himself out of that mode, and hopefully Milroe can too. But if Bryce plays, and I think he will, when you and others was reporting that he was begging to get onto the field in the fourth quarter, okay, that means Coach, I believe I can go. So believing you can go was the first start of getting over there. And if he believes he can go last week, then he most certainly should be able to believe he can go this week. And I think even 85% Bryce Young with his ability, we can this defense, we can still pull it out in Tennessee. But yeah, they feel themselves. They're the greatest threat they've been to Alabama since ever since Nick Saban era, because they've never come into the game on the Nick Saban era being a threat. They never entered the game. They turned into one, only in 2 games when the game was progressing. But this is the first time in a long time they've come into the game with people thinking they're an actual threat to win. So we'll see how this goes.
Absolutely. Appreciate Robert from Mobile calling into the show, giving us his thoughts here on the channel. Bama, Tennessee, this weekend. We take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. You are live on the show, caller. Unfortunately, we lost that call right there, but 205-448-1358, number to call in. We grab this call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Calling from Dania Beach, Florida.
How we doing?
I'm doing great. I've been watching the Tide for like 13 years, and I'm looking forward to the Cheetah package.
Good old Cheetah package right there.
Make a statement. What's that?
I said the good old Cheetah package.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And on that last game, they said that they made a bad call in the last play with 3 seconds left. No, Saban made a timeout and he had the defense ready. They were going after our rookie Arnold, and he was ready for it. So that was a great play on our side for the defense. I mean, the defense made a statement last week when they had 4 turnovers, 2 field goals that were missed, and we still won. So roll Tide.
Absolutely. Defense made a statement last week, and this week they look to make another statement as, like I mentioned before, Eli, this is the first time in a while for me against Tennessee also where they're walking into this game and the whole conversation is on Tennessee's offense. And no offense to Hendon Hooker, no offense to Josh Heupel and the weapons for the Volunteers. They got some dudes. I give it to them. But no one's really talking about the Alabama defense. It's crazy when you look at Will Anderson, Dallas Turner and company, Henry To'o also, and no one's really talking about the Bama defense.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The defense and that Cheetah package, they're gonna show up, and it's gonna be awesome. They're gonna have the turnovers.
It's going to be awesome. The cheer package is definitely going to show out, and I'm looking forward to Coach Saban doing his thing here with this defense. Appreciate that call there. We'll take this call. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
Doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. My name's Charlie Hudgens. I'm from Franklin, Georgia, and I had a question or two to ask you, man. Love the show. Thought it was awesome you had Bo on there, but I just had some questions that's been really bugging me, man, and I'm really confused. But where is all the disrespect coming for the Crimson Tide over the past 2 years? It's like everybody wants to rule us out for a few close games or a national championship loss or a loss by a field goal. I'm really confused with all the disrespect, man. It's like the media is against us. I just wanted to know your thoughts on where all this is coming from. It's like total hatred for the Tide.
Where it's coming from, Charlie, is everybody's got an agenda, right? Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's trying to make money. You got the people over there in Las Vegas playing with the betting odds. So quite naturally, people say they love dominance. People say they love winners. People do not like dynasties. People do not like champions all the time. Nick Saban always said this: overachievers hate mediocres, and mediocres hate overachievers. Nick Saban said this. So when you look at it from that particular lens, it's people really don't like dominance. They look at the New England Patriots. They can't stand Bill Belichick. They can't stand dominance. People look at the New York Yankees. I can't stand pinstripes. I can't stand dominance. People look at teams that have been dominant for so long, they cannot stand them. So when you look at Alabama football, since Nick Saban has gotten here in 2007 and the run of national championship success he's been on, people are going, can somebody else go on a consistent 15-year run not named Alabama? Everybody's got an agenda, and this is the agenda of the media. Can we get somebody else other than Alabama?
And I agree with you. I mean, it's crazy to me how Georgia can play in Missouri and honestly not look too good, but Alabama goes to Texas and struggles, and the dynasty's over. Georgia plays bad at another. They don't take into account crowd noise, anything when it comes to Alabama. It's just Alabama isn't as good as they used to be. Now, if Georgia goes and all those factors still play into Georgia kind of playing badly, Georgia was just having a bad night, or Tennessee was just having a bad night, LSU was just having a bad night. It just really confuses me how it's always on us, but you had a really good explanation there, and I appreciate you answering my call, man. I could ask you 40 more questions, but I want to give more people a chance to talk to you.
Absolutely. Appreciate Charlie calling in right there. And another thing about this is Alabama's held to a different standard than everybody else. That's what it is. Alabama's held to just a completely different, and sometimes it's unfair, but they're held to a completely different standard than everybody else. And that's the reason why you're seeing opposing teams hold up signs, "We want Bama." They don't hold signs, "We want Georgia." They don't hold signs, "We want Ohio State." They don't hold signs, "We want Clemson." They all hold signs saying, "We want Bama." Why? Because Bama is the needle in college football. If you're not talking Alabama, then they're wondering, is something seriously wrong with you? We're going to take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven. This is Kyron from Albuquerque, Kyran. How you doing?
Doing great, Kyron, and yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I just had a random thought. I wonder if you happen to know or you could shed some light. So I'm wondering, with Kool-Aid, has there ever been a thought in regards to putting him on offense, and not in a permanent role, but maybe a few packages, a few plays where he lines up a receiver or coming out the backfield, like a screen pass, from the receiver screen or running back screen. Because every game we always hear about how he's so electric on punt returns, and he's so electric with the ball in his hands, and everyone stands up to watch him return punts. And also with the issues that we've had a receiver with all the drops, etc., and the so-called non-explosiveness. I wonder, has it happened yet, or has there ever been a thought to where, hey, let's put Kool-Aid, in for a couple plays, see what he can do, get him in open space with a screen pass, whatever, see what he can do. And I'm guessing also, I know there's an issue with the jersey number because him and Gibbs were the same number, but he could just put on another jersey. But yeah, I was just wondering that, Steve, Kool-Aid on offense. What do you think?
I mean, Kyron, I could dig it. I would dig that right now due to Kool-Aid played a lot of receiver in high school. Played a lot of it at Pinson Valley High School. He did. He was a naturally gifted receiver. He could play receiver. He can play DB. He can return kicks and punts. Did it all in high school. So I certainly would not mind a package where you would have Kool-Aid in the slot, or have Kool-Aid go in motion and catch a screen or catch a hitch route or catch a little out route to the outside and let him do what he does in space. I'd be cool with it. I wonder what Coach Sabe would think about it, but I'd be cool with it. Just do it, just seeing how he is explosive. He does have a natural feel with the ball in his hands. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great idea, and I know they talk about just how O'Brien's not creative. Well, hey, try it out. Throw on we've seen before, like back in the day with Jalen Ramsey was at Florida State. They put a new jersey on him when he had to go in. Just slap a jersey on him. Even if it's like 40-something, slap a jersey on him, put him on offense.
Hey, something to think about right there. Appreciate Kyron calling into the show. Something to think about there. Kool-Aid McKinstry on offense. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I really, truly would not mind seeing that. But we'll take this call here. You're live on the show. What's happening? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Hey, Steven, this is Mike from Kentucky. What's up, my brother?
Doing great, Mike. And yourself, man?
Man, I'm doing good. Hey, Steven, you hear that?
I hear
You know what that is? That's
what is that?
That's the quiet before the storm, brother. I'm telling you.
Man, Mike, I feel it, brother. I feel it.
I feel it, bro. I feel it.
I mean, you got.
I tell you.
I mean, you got Saban and the guys are already at Knoxville. You had Henry To'o was featured in the voiceover video, which was called Strictly Business. I mean, these guys are ready to go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm ready to see Terrell Harrell in the game. I'd like to see him slip him out unnoticed in the flat and watch him take off tomorrow. I think they got it coming, bro.
You know what? It would be very Saban-like to not say a word about him and then just slip Harrell out there.
Yep. Get him out there in the flat, clear the flat out, and let him slip in, take off like a scalded dog, boy. That's the speed we've been looking for this year right there.
Absolutely. I could see Saban really pulling that, like not talking about him all week. We don't know when he's going to play, and then on a particular down, you clear it all out for the speeding bullet in Harrell to get on the field.
Meow. I'm telling you, bro. Look, man. Just a lot of people. I mean, I've been watching Alabama football a long time, bro. Just when you think Alabama's right for the picking, they beat the dadgum dunk out of you. And that's what I'm looking for tomorrow, man. Y'all have a good evening. Roll dadgum tide to everybody out there.
Appreciate Mike from Kentucky calling in there. Interesting thought from him, Tyler Harrell. People have been waiting on Tyler Harrell. People have been saying all season, where is this dude from Louisville that Bama got in the transfer portal? I could see it would be Eli. I want you to do this for me, Eli. I want you to do this. If you see Tyler Harrell, Eli, on the field, get pictures for me. Get pictures, get video, do that. Because I could see Nick Saban pulling this, not saying a word to anybody, and then Tyler Harrell just slips out there. So if you see him, Eli, get him on camera. Please do that. Gotta shout out my man Big Bill from New York with that 503 in the Super Chats. Appreciate Bill. Also, Cedric dialing up the $5 donation. Appreciate the love there come from Bill from New York and Cedric. Call topic right here goes to one Jahmyr Gibbs. Alabama running back who is rising up the Heisman Trophy odds list in terms of the betting sites. You check out Vegas Insider, PointsBet, MGM, Caesar Sportsbook, those places right there. Jahmyr Gibbs is rising up these Heisman odds boards. And a big matchup for him against Tennessee this weekend could launch Gibbs even more. So what would he need? Definitely another 100-plus yard performance, which will give him 3 in a row. If he gets a couple of touchdowns, that'll help out there as well. Of course, it's kind of a challenge for him because you've got Bryce Young in the Heisman Trophy conversation, Will Anderson in there also, but if Gibbs is able to have another 100-plus yard rushing performance, couple touchdowns, maybe a 50, 75-yard receiving performance with that also, touchdown as a receiver, that'll put him right there where he needs to be in that Heisman Trophy conversation. But we take our final break on the show, folks. We'll touch that down. When we get back, we tidy up loose ends with the Alabama defense. People are undervaluing this group against Tennessee. Pete Gold has been stepping up all year. Does Bama have the biggest statement on defense, shutting down the Vols? We'll talk about it after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All-Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All-Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
Oh, baby, we're back into the action. From the break, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys checking us out here on a Friday, eve of the third Saturday in October rivalry. Game tomorrow, 2:30 Central Time, p.m. Central Time kickoff from Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Also keep in mind the post-game show after the game, streaming on the TDA YouTube channel. Check out the post-game show. Justin Riley, Mike McCoy, post-game show tomorrow. Touchdown Alabama Magazine, streaming right here after the game. Got to also remind you of TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com for all of your swagger, sauce, drip, clothing, cultural, fashion needs. Check us out, TDAwear.com. Making sure one-stop shop for all of that gear. Get that gear today. Rock it, wear it, frame it, whatever you want to do with it. Make us the one-stop shop for your Bama football gear there. Supporting Coach Saban, University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. But now, the Alabama defense in this football game. Everybody's been discussing the Tennessee offense. You look at Hendon Hooker, over 1,400 passing yards, 1,432, completing 70% of his passes, 10 touchdown passes, no interceptions, 13 total scores. Tennessee averaging 46.8 points per game. Look at what they're doing offensively. All right, Tennessee's offense, look at their offense, look at their offense. Hendon Hooker in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. Very little people are talking about this Alabama defense. And an Alabama defense that has stepped up all year. We all knew Pete Golding was building toward this season. We got to give it to him. He has stepped up this year. Texas, the defense made big plays down the stretch of that game. Alabama won 20-19. You look at Texas A&M, defense, huge that game. Here we go now with Tennessee. Pete Golding, big game for him. Disguising the defensive secondary to confuse Hooker a bit some. Getting the pressure with the Alabama defensive front in Hooker's face. Try to affect him, fluster him, get him on the ground all game long. This is the game here for Coach Golding. But not just him, the defensive front as well. And I mentioned this before. Guys like Byron Young, DJ Dale, Jaheim Otis, Jamil Burrows, getting your hands up, knocking the ball down. You don't have to necessarily get a sack. Knock the ball down, affect Hendon Hooker's passing lane, affect his view. That will shake him up some, affect his view. Knock the ball down, as well as collapse the pocket, not allowing him to step up or move around back there. Defensive front, a big game for them. Jalen Moody, Coach Saban said he practiced all week, coming off of the bruised kidney. He should be out there in this matchup against Tennessee. Henry To'o spent his first 2 years at Rocky Top. Last year, got his first victory cigar for Alabama, trying to end his collegiate career with another one. Big game for him. Got to have the biggest impact of his career in this matchup right here. Now, there could be a situation where Alabama uses Deontay Lawson to spy on Hendon Hooker. We could see this. 32, redshirt freshman, has been playing well for Alabama. Coach Saban has been pleased with the growth of Lawson. Got a full handle there on the playbook. So don't be shocked if there are moments in the game where Lawson comes in to spy there on one Hendon Hooker. Defensive secondary, they got to come with it. Battle, Helms, McKinstry, Arnold, Brian Branch, they got to come with it this week. Tennessee's got some receivers. Now, the Vols will not have Cedric Tillman, arguably their best guy due to he's recovered from an ankle injury. But Jalen Hyatt, Brew McCoy, they'll be out there. Alabama secondary got to clamp down on these guys right here. We've all been talking about the cheetah package. They're ready to go. Anderson, Turner, Braswell, they are ready to get after it. And then this cheetah package, what Pete Golding has done, he has created situations where either one of these three can be free at any given moment. And they're coming after the quarterback. Cheetah package last week against A&M combined for, 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 12 quarterback hurries. 8 of those were Will Anderson by himself. So this package, they're going to be going all out, hunting on Hendon Hooker Saturday against Tennessee. This is a Bama defense that is in the top 10 scoring defense, top 10 total defense, top 10 run defense, top 10 third down defense. This is a defense, like I said, that stepped up all year. And has been undervalued because of the Tennessee offense going into this game. This defense is ready to make a prime statement on the road here in tomorrow's matchup. As always, Bama Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage here, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple. Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. Got you covered there. Good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link found in the description. You're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine. You go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join, become a member or a subscriber today. That link in the description. If you're trying to get your hands on the 4-finger bling necklace, 4-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of our guys that we own, the fourthquarter.com. That link in the description as well. Be sure to check out the post-game show tomorrow, immediately after the game, streaming TDA's YouTube channel. Justin Riley, former Alabama wide receiver Mike McCoy, got you covered right there. Be sure to follow our own Justin Smith and Eli Walker on social media. They will be covering the game for TDA tomorrow from Neyland Stadium. Yours truly, I will be in the watch party with John Ivory. Check out the TDA watch party on tomorrow. Get your fun on, get your chat on, get your conversation on with John Ivory and yours truly. Guys, shout out Big Bo Scarbrough, former Alabama running back, 2-time national champion, helping us out here on the show today. And shouting out you guys, the outstanding fans of Alabama football, for all that you do. Until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing to not be bored and get that weekend in full gear there. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy the game this weekend. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. Spit in my own words.